Howdy, my impatience. It is Andrew, the android Koloski here, and I am live. How art thou? How art thou, my impatience? How art thou, my impatience? So, I'm gonna read to you my crazy reflection. How many of you have ever caught a glimpse of your crazy reflection? I'm told that it's self-consciousness and nobody is looking at me in a critical way, but you'll be hanging out with friends in their backyard, for example. You'll feel like the elephant in the room. You'll think you'll think you're behaving horrifying, mentally ill, deranged. Then there'll be a mirror. You'll see your crazy reflection and you'll think to yourself, I look like a monster. I look disturbing. Basically, I'm projecting onto my friends that I'm this freak. They probably don't see me as defective and damaged like a monster. When I see my crazy reflection, I think I look defective and damaged, but my friends probably think I'm handsome. The same is true for walking into a supermarket and seeing your video on the surveillance camera and video up above. You feel like everybody in the supermarket is looking at you critically. You're the monster in the supermarket. Then you'll see the crazy reflection and you're just like, get me out of here. You'll have a panic attack. Like, let me hide at home in solitary confinement, anxious and agoraphobic. My psychiatrist tells me I'm a normal guy who presents well. Seeing me is not like seeing anybody all that unusual looking. People probably don't bat an eyelid at me. They glance at me, then probably forget I exist, especially if they are a stranger. So the crazy reflection is projection and all in my head. It's self-consciousness. You know what I mean? So that's something to keep in mind. All right. So how are my impatients doing today? How are my impatients doing? So I'm chatting with, I guess she's, a woman who's into femdom on Discord. She asks if I wish to serve her, and basically, I told her how I have no experience serving a mistress, and basically I'm the submissive male, and I told her how my life has been pretty vanilla lately. I haven't had romance in years, and I told her how I'm disabled, not working because of severe mental health challenges, and basically, she asked what's my schedule like for today, and I said I don't have any major plans for the day. And she lives in New York City. She's in her late 20s. That's the story. That's the story with her. I'm just chatting with her. I'm in the beginning phases of chatting with this dominatrix, and obviously, maybe it would be better to seek true love rather than. She says she'll train me to be a perfect submissive male, and I don't know. I should probably stop communicating, but I'm lonely and I'm just going through with it, I'm lonely and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll be trained to be the perfect submissive male. It's great, you know. I'm gonna be the perfect sub. Actually, she's communicating with me right now, interestingly enough. She asks what I'm doing, and I'm telling her nothing, just browsing the internet. So, this la 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 la. I'm having a conversation with a dominatrix, getting trained to be their perfect sub. Watch, she's going to either try to get my bank information, or we're going to find out it's artificial intelligence. It's a bot who wants me to buy some OnlyFans. It's probably not a real person, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. They're gonna either try to get my bank account, or they're gonna try. It's gonna turn out to be somebody trying to sell an OnlyFans, like buy my OnlyFans subscription. You know. I met her on the website FetLife, so buy my OnlyFans subscription. Hey, you better get here. It's in 4 minutes. It's your favorite part of the day, so you better not be any place too far away. Three minutes, Rusty. 3 minutes. Hey, Dave. How you doing? Fist bump to Dave. Hopefully Rusty gets here, because in 1 minute, it's his favorite part of the day. I'm going to please Rusty. I'm going to give Rusty some pleasure. Are you ready to get pleased, Rusty? He says, please, pleasure entrance. I'm going to give Rusty some pleasure with the entrance. Here we go. Go into your little song, washing machine. Go into your little song. Fist bump to Rusty, fist bump to Dave. How art thou, guys? How art thou? Go into your little jingle. Stop taunting me. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm putting the wash in the dryer. I'm putting the wash in the dryer. Coming to the live stream at this time, standing 6'6" tall, weighing 273 pounds. Sal Waters! Wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah. You are going down! Ah! All right. How would you rank that entrance, Rusty? Was that a fire entrance? Eight out of 20. Whoa. Huh. He didn't like it. He didn't like it too much. That's 8 out of 10. He says 8 out of 10. Okay, 8 out of 10 is not too bad. That's an 80 in college. 8 out of 10 ain't too bad. Any fun plans for the day? It's Veterans Day. I wished my stepfather a happy Veterans Day, and he thanked me, which is good because he served the country. And we're like, thank you for your service, and thank you for all you've done and continue to do, and so on. All right. Somebody asks, was your stepfather in Vietnam? I think he was in Korea. Not the Korean War, but he was stationed in Korea with the army, I believe. I'm not really too sure. I don't really ask him about it too much. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have a conversation with him about it and take a genuine interest. I mean, I'd like to say I'm not interested. I am interested, but I just don't really have many conversations with him, I actually am very curious. I want to find out his backstory and history, but he doesn't really talk about it with me or, so. He says you should go up to him, take a genuine interest, talk about the military, and, really, really genuinely ask him about it and ask him about where he was stationed. And my stepfather is the one I'm talking about because it's Veterans Day, and I wished him a happy Veterans Day, and maybe talk to him about the military and take a genuine interest. Hey, if it wouldn't hurt to repair the relationship, or I don't know. So he says, definitely ask him about his time in the military, especially today. That's assuming I see him, but yeah, I mean that's a good idea. Maybe talk to him about his time in the military, take a genuine interest, and try to bond with him. Dave asks, I don't know what I don't know what he. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really talked to him about it. If he's ever done anything in war, I don't really know. If somebody asks, I wonder if he's ever I'm just gonna say it, killed anybody, but I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if he was stationed during wartime. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might be an uncomfortable conversation. And to be honest, Yeah, I mean, like anytime you say you hear somebody talking about, if he's killed somebody, you don't want to really hear about that. I mean, maybe I wouldn't make a good you know therapist or listener. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like an unpleasant topic, and I don't want to hear about that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, um, I don't know. I don't know if he has. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe it was all peaceful and I don't know if he's ever done anything like that, but um, you know. Yeah, I'm not really too. I don't really know what goes on in the military. So on that note, yeah, who knows? Who knows, man? Somebody says people had wives over there too. So like, you mean like he would? Well, what do you mean by that? Like he would have? Yeah, I don't know. Dave says he found a toolbox full of pictures once. Apparently, he might have some half siblings in Vietnam. Um, yeah, I mean, you never know. Maybe you have a half sibling in Vietnam. Maybe you have a half sibling in Vietnam. Uh, so, anybody have any more questions or anything like that, or not really? What's an ear necklace? Somebody says, I bet Dale has an ear necklace hidden somewhere. What does that mean? What is an ear necklace? Let's Google ear necklace. What does that mean? Let's Google what an ear necklace is. What is an ear necklace? Like in Diablo, when you're on a player versus player server and eliminate another player, you collect their ear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, hard to say. Hard to say, man. I've never actually asked him about it. So, a necklace made of the ears of his enemies. Somebody says, I bet Dale has some wicked stories. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I've never actually asked him about it, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Somebody says he fought so you could build your troll garden, and I thank him for his service. Hey, he was in the army, Dale. Hey, you know what? Um, I know. I think many years ago he said the army saved his life. Um, well, which kind of, I mean, in that, obviously he was on the, I don't know. Like he was on the path to maybe going to jail or something like that, and the army made him a man and gave him structure and independence and financial stability, and that's what I mean by saving his life. That's I think he said that at one point. So it was a career for him. You know. Somebody says maybe he had to join the army. If you got in trouble back then, they made you join the army sometimes. So, basically they said to like somebody, all right, you got in legal trouble, either you join the army or you go to jail, one of those deals. I don't know. I never asked him about that. I'm just theorizing. I'm just speculating, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but what am I gonna do today? Maybe I'll. I don't know. I'll ask my mother if she wants to do a green bunny. Um, obviously, I thought of an idea. I thought of an idea regarding the green bunnies. Basically, we're going to go. Somebody says I should go into New York City. Do a Veterans Day green bunny. I always think about this, like the crazy reflection. You know, like kind of like Otto Greenberg is going to see himself in the mirror, and rather than seeing himself in the mirror, he's going to see a monster in the mirror, and he's going to say, "Wow, I'm getting self consciousness. I'm getting, I feel defective, damaged," and I look horrifying. Basically, Otto's going to see his crazy reflection. So I was going to do a rendition of this one, only with somebody says, or a dream sequence where Otto is in the military, kind of like Captain America. Obviously, maybe Otto could be in his green camo bunny suit, and he could join the military, and he could fight. I don't know who are we at war with at the moment. Um, who he could go over to the Middle East, or he could go into the Ukraine or Russia. Who are our military enemies at the moment? Yeah, I mean, we could maybe if my mother's willing, I could do a green bunny today. Israel, maybe he could go into Israel and fight Hamas or something like that. Make it like Platoon. I've never seen Platoon, to be honest with you. So how could I make it like something I've never seen? Never seen Platoon. So it says, go see Platoon. It's a classic. So it says, have Dale and Poppy ever gotten into an argument? No, I don't think they have. But, you know, they don't... I mean... Interestingly enough, my father's usually on his best behavior when he's around Dale. I mean, my father will be a jerk to my mother. He'll be a jerk to me, but he's intimidated by Dale. So as a result, you know, he's on his best behavior around him. You know what I mean? Because he's intimidated by him. You know, where he's not intimidated by me and he's not intimidated by my mother. And if he's around my mother and Dale, he's always on his best behavior. He always gets at the money and pays and does the right thing. But if it's just me and my mother and my father just behaves like he knows who he can act up around, basically. I don't know if my father is scared of Dale necessarily, but he definitely knows not to act up around him. You know what I mean? He definitely knows to be on his best behavior around him. He knows who he can get away with being a jerk to and who he can't. You know, like, do you know what I mean? And I think that goes for everybody. You know, I'm intimidated by Dale too, to be honest with you. And, you know, he's kind of an intimidating guy. Somebody says, you trying to say that Poppy is a punk? No, I'm not trying to say that. I mean, my father can be a jerk, and there are things he would not say to Dale that he would say to me and my mother. My father knows who he can bully and who he can't. You know, obviously, like they say, bullies only go after the weak. You know what I mean? They don't go after the big, strong guy. My stepfather I see as like a big, strong man, and if my father tried to bully my stepfather, if Poppy tried to bully my stepfather, he's gonna get punched in the fucking face, and he knows that. So that's the reason he does it to me and my mother. So that's just the story. Bullies know who they can bully, basically. You know what I mean? They're basically cowards in a lot of ways. I think Dale would probably. I think Dale would probably beat up my father. Here's the hierarchy. My dad would beat up. Dale would beat up my father, but they're never going to get into a fight. My father would beat me up, and yeah, so yeah, I'm not really tough. I'm kind of like a soy boy, you know. It's the hierarchy of dominance. Dale's atop the hierarchy of dominance. Below although my father thinks he's atop the hierarchy of dominance. And in terms of physicality and like intimidating, I'll beat you up. My stepfather is on top of the hierarchy of dominance. But you know, some people say that doesn't really like I mean, could Dale beat up Donald Trump, hypothetically speaking? Yeah. But Donald Trump obviously is more educated and is the president of the United States of America, and could has dominance in terms of financial freedom and intelligence and running a country. So if we're talking like alpha male, beat people up, go to war, obviously Dale would probably beat up my father, beat up Donald Trump in a celebrity death match kind of thing. But obviously my father, obviously, does that make sense? Somebody says, I think Trump could hit one hell of a stunner. Yeah, man. Trump is the only president, and probably the only president in American history who has ever gotten hit by the Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner. That's for sure. And he's the most famous person in the WWE Hall of Fame because Donald Trump is probably one of the most well-known, famous people in the world. So as a result, he's the most famous person in the WWE Hall of Fame too. Kip, who seems like he's a jerk, said, "Do you really think your art should be making you money? The macaroni child's art that your mom does for you, or your weird show tunes? I don't know, Kip. I mean, I think it should be making me money. I think some of it's really good artwork. If you don't think so, that's your opinion, and whatever. Believe what you want to. I'll continue to believe in myself, and I'll continue to work hard." Kip says, "My pieces belong in a mental institution." Does that give you an idea of what's happening? Hey, you know what? Maybe I could do a project about mental health recovery. I could feature them in a psychosis journal. I mean, just because it's not your cup of tea doesn't mean it can't be good artwork for the mental health community. You know what I mean? One sec. I'm just going to put my sweater in the dryer. I know many months ago, or many years ago, maybe now, Dr. Garrett was talking about getting my artwork presented at Kings County Hospital and having me teach an art class there and try to inspire people with artwork. And so he thought there was some real artistic merit to my artwork. He liked my screenplay. Dr. Garrett liked my artwork, my screenplay. He liked a lot of what I was doing. He wouldn't say I rise to the stature of comic genius, but he thought there was some real potential in what I was doing. So if Dr. Garrett, who's an expert psychiatrist, highly educated, is saying there's some potential here, then well, there is. You know what I mean? So he was very serious. He wouldn't blow smoke up my ass. He wouldn't lie to me. If Dr. Garrett says there's potential with my artwork, there's potential with my screenplay, and he wouldn't make that shit up. No, he does not get paid to be nice to me. In fact, he was a dick to me a lot of the time. He was very serious. He even ended sessions with me, but he was not somebody who would lie to me. He was not somebody who would be nice to me just for being nice to me. He told it like it was. Trust me. He told it like it was. Even at the sake of being harsh and really frank sometimes and a little cold. No, he really told it like it was, and I respect him for that. He didn't just try to coddle me. He was genuinely trying to tell me like it was. You know what I mean? He wouldn't just say, "Oh, you're gonna be a successful artist." He told me there's some real potential here. Obviously you got to start organizing them and picking your best artworks and illustrating the ones who that have you know relate to mental health, and you're trying to get it presented someplace really good. Like he wasn't, but he said, he really thinks this could really tell an interesting story about mental health. He says, obviously the artwork is there. You just got to refine it. You just got to organize it. You just got to compile it. And on that note, I think it's time to give Kip the quick release. Bye bye, Kip. Bye bye, Kip. Yeah, Kip wasn't being helpful. He was just criticizing me. Somebody said I think Kip might have even been jealous. I gave Kip the malfunctioning harness. I gave Kip the malfunctioning harness, and he plunged to his death. But the show must go on. The show must go on. Kaboom. So, Rusty, I know Dave says he remembers the email from September 2018 when I first started doing the artwork. And I'll read it to you. So I said to Dr. Garrett on August 10th, 2018, here are some drawings I made. If you'd like to see more, let me know. Dr. Garrett asked on August 13th, 2018, when did you draw these? I said on August 13th, 2018, why, do you like them? I created them last week and this week. It's meant to look like an elementary school kid drew them. That's the joke. It's supposed to be absurd. I've attached some more. Basically, although that is true in 2018 when I first started drawing, I started attending an art class, and I started doing it regularly with my mother and father. So I got more serious about it. Although in 2018, it's true that it was meant to look like an elementary school kid drew them. It was a joke and supposed to be absurd. In 2024, I'm very serious about my artwork, and it's not a joke anymore. It's not meant to be absurd. It's meant to, be actually good. But when I first started doing it in 2018, it was meant to be a joke. Things have changed. You know what I mean? Things have changed. Puddinghead says, you couldn't handle the truth that Kip was laying down. So he says, you never did real comedy once. You paid for a comedy class and did it to a paid audience, and you do it at the Drool Factory at Paradise Studios every Friday, or some Fridays. Yeah, Puddinghead, you're getting the malfunctioning harness in quick release too. Adios, Puddinghead. You're obviously Kip. Adios, Puddinghead. Kaboom! He's gone too. I'm giving them old bicep punches. Elliot Rogers here. Why do I think Elliot Roger is Kip and Puddinghead? Hey, Elliot Roger, how are you doing? We got Elliot Roger in the house. I'm not that Elliot Roger. So let me call my mom and ask her to make me some chicken nuggets. I'm hungry. Let's give me Madre a call here. Where's my phone not working? Did I break my phone? No, it's working. Here we go. So he says, "You're not allowed to use the stove. I don't go into my mother's part of the house, and I have no stove in here." So he says, "Make your own damn nuggets in the air fryer. Be a man and make your own damn chicken nugget." Hey, Mama, how you doing? I'm live at the moment, so don't say anything too controversial. But can you make me something for lunch? Can you make me some Can you make me some chicken nuggets? Do you want to do a green bunny today? I thought of some interesting ideas. Do you want to hear them? Okay, you want to do artwork around noon? Yeah. So here are some ideas. I thought of obviously. No Nami tonight. It's for the holiday. It's canceled. Yeah, everything's closed today for the holiday. Because it's Veterans Day. It's a holiday. So here are the ideas. We could do a Veterans Day artwork for Green Bunny, where Green Bunny joins the military and does something comedic, or we could have the crazy reflection, like you know you know you know Otto sees his reflection in a mirror and he sees himself as a monster, but it's really not how he is. Everybody else sees him like, look at that handsome guy, but Otto's reflection, he sees himself. Does this make sense? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, think about it. So I'm thinking about Otto sees his reflection in a mirror, and he'll see himself as like really ugly, like a monster, and like defective, damaged, like you know, and like everybody else is like looking at Otto, say, "Oh, look at that handsome guy," But Otto's projecting that everybody sees him so horribly. I don't know how we'll illustrate this, but it's an interesting idea. You know what I mean? He's in public. He sees his crazy reflection. But everybody else is looking at him, um, like he's just a regular, normal looking guy. Could you put on the chicken nuggets? So we'll do artwork around noon. Bye. All right. There's this: go buy some nuggets and be self sufficient. Hey, born Slippy. He says, "Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day." Happy Veterans Day. Salute to everybody in the military. Rusty says, "Tell Dale the inpatients say Happy Veterans Day." I don't know if Dale even knows the inpatients exist, to be honest with you, but I'll tell him. I'll tell him Dave, Rusty, and the inpatients wish him a Happy Veterans Day. Elliot, I mean, you're taking the old plunge too. You're going to get a defective harness and a quick release. Bye-bye, Elliot. Bye-bye. Elliot's gone. Elliot Rodger was obviously Kip and Puddinghead. I mean, it's obviously all the same person. He's just reappearing under a new name. All right, guys. I guess I could wrap this one up. Any last questions here? I don't know if Born Slippy is Kip too, but I haven't banned Born Slippy yet. Adios, amigos and amigas. Peace out.